of inheritance but never entered it. It's a tragic ending to an amazing story. But Joshua, they buried him in the land of his inheritance. He lived in it. He walked in it. He experienced the promise. The last chapter of Bridgetown Church, it's been a miracle of deliverance, and man, it's been breathtaking. The next chapter of Bridgetown Church, it's a miracle of inheritance. But you don't come into inheritance through one leader whose heart's burning. It takes a community agreeing together. So why don't we stand? You know, after Israel crossed the Red Sea, Miriam broke into this spontaneous song with the tambourine, and it became a holy moment. It marked that moment. But after they crossed the Jordan, God instructed the very elders who had parted the waters with their obedience to then build an altar, to construct a monument that they could return to and see as a way to remember God's promise. They've not yet lived in the land of their inheritance. All they've done is cross the river, but they have crossed the river. And so God says, in the days ahead, you're going to work out living into the inheritance I've promised you through ups and downs and ordinary days, and you're going to need to remember this one. You're going to need to be able to come back here and say, no, he did promise us. So build an altar. Mark a moment that you can return to. That's what we want to do. So come, Holy Spirit. Come, Holy Spirit. Come, Holy Spirit.
Yeah, let's just wait in this space for a minute. As we wait on you, God, what are you doing in the room right now? My sense is that for many of us here in the room this morning, there's strong agreement in our spirits. We agree. Yeah, there's a beautiful metaphor and a biblical invitation for us as a church family. This seems to be a moment in our life right now. And it's a moment of invitation. And what we want to do with this moment and what we want to do to show our agreement is we want to mark this and celebrate this next chapter. And we want to mark it and celebrate it because it's fun and it's good, but also because there will be giants in the land. There will be days ahead where we're going to need to look back and remember what God's done in this season and how he's led us up to this line to make this decision. And our sense is that even in that story, as the elders had to go forward first, the risk of being foolish, really a step of faith, they went into the water first. My sense for response right now is first to our leaders, to the elders, pastors, staff, and community leaders, prayer team leaders, youth leaders. The question is, I think, first to us as leaders, are we in agreement? Are we ready? And if you are, I want to invite you right now, leaders, would you respond by coming forward? Only if you're in agreement, only if you're saying in your spirit, yes, this is what God's doing. We are entering into this land, and I will go first. So we'll just wait for a minute and allow our leaders to respond. So leaders, by coming forward, you're saying that you're in agreement. So we welcome you. Come. And now the second wave of response is for you, church family. If you are in agreement, and if you want to say, even through response this morning, that you will be led by them, If you're saying, yes, in my spirit, like this is where we're going, this is happening, I want to enter in. The best days aren't in the past that we read about in revivals and the miraculous. The best days and this biblical future for us is here now, and I want to step into it. I want to be led by people like this. Church family, if you're in agreement with that, we're going to ask you to come forward now as the prayer team. So make your way forward. If you, family, are in agreement, would you come forward and lay a hand on the shoulder of your leaders as a symbolic way, as a real way of entering into agreement with them? So family, come forward, make your way, spread through here. Put a hand on a shoulder. And then family, we're just gonna pray over these leaders a simple prayer. We're just gonna bless them, and your line of prayer can be, God, we bless these leaders. We join with them in entering the land. Come, Holy Spirit. So would you do that now? Extend a hand and begin even right now just releasing agreement and blessing. God, we bless, go ahead out loud. We bless these leaders. We will be led by them into the land. Come, Holy Spirit. And let's just remain in that posture of blessing as we worship. Some of you may want to just pause for a minute. Ask God if he has a word, a specific word of encouragement. If God brings something to mind, you can pray that out over your leaders. You can bless them, prophesy over them if that comes. So let's just go ahead and enter into a time of response. Thank you, Jesus. We welcome you.